So, Sounil, you recently left Bank of America, and you'd been there for a while. I'm sure you saw a lot, but really, if you were to kind of boil it down, what was like the single biggest security challenge that you needed to deal with? Just one.
Well, just one. It would have been the bazillion vendors that came knocking on my door trying to take a little bit of the Bank of America budget for security. So, and that was a tough challenge.
So, I mean, I know bazillion's not a real number, but I'm sure it's a really big number, more than most of us have to deal with. So, how did you attack that problem? Like, how do you boil that down and figure out how to deal with that many vendors?
So I looked at other markets or other industries that have matured this particular problem. And one of the industries that worked really well was the food industry. You walk into a grocery store, you see thousands of different products. What do they have? They have aisles and shelves and different labels for different things. And so I needed something that was easier to understand, easier to grasp, and a model that helped me that I could use as a mental model wherever I went. And so I created something called the Cyber Defense Matrix. And the Cyber Defense Matrix, it's a simple construct. It's made up of 2 dimensions. On one dimension, the things that I care about, devices, apps, networks, data, and users. And the other dimension would be the things that we do. Identify, protect, detect, respond, recover, which is basically the NIST cybersecurity framework. So with this construct, I could basically start putting all these different products and capabilities and needs into their respective aisle, into their respective shelves, and then it made the whole cybersecurity world make a lot more sense. And all the vendors that came to me afterwards, I can then say, oh, I know exactly where you are, which shelf you go into, what are the other products and capabilities that are adjacent to it, who your competitors are, and all these other sort of things that were very difficult to deal with when you're getting all these inbounds on a regular basis.
So that helped you categorize them. And then what? Like, great, you've got your grocery store shelves stocked. What did you do at that point?
Sure. So going back to the food analogy, I discovered all these recipes, all these different ways that we could start using the Cyber Defense Matrix in ways that really help describe the whole space of cybersecurity much better than before. My original use case was just mapping vendors, but it turns out I could start mapping things like organizational handoffs. I could map metrics. Even the CIS top 20, the top 20 critical security controls, they mapped their top 20 critical security controls to the Cyber Defense Matrix. And so now I have a prioritization order. It's sort of like, what should you have in your cupboard? Flour, salt, milk. In the same sort of way, the CSC Top 20 then tells you, using the Cyber Defense Matrix, what are the critical areas that you should work on first? What should you have in your cupboard first before you start buying things that are more niche, if you will? Bottom line, though, is that there's a lot of knowledge around the Cyber Defense Matrix that I've collected over the years. And I'm hoping to be able to draw upon those other practitioners that have also discovered the Cyber Defense Matrix and have put it to practice, or those who are wanting to put it to practice, so that I can make this book as rich and as accurate and as approachable as possible. So if there are folks who have either put it to practice or want to put it to practice but aren't sure how, I would love to hear from you, because ultimately I want to be able to codify that in the book itself.
Great. That sounds like a great way of people both being able to get value by sitting down with you and walking through the framework, but also to help out and kind of contribute back.
Yes, this essentially will be a community sort of effort, because while I may have started by creating the framework, I definitely see a lot of people who have come up with really great ideas as to how to put it to practice. So going back to the food analogy, I've come up with 20, 30 some recipes, but as you may imagine, there's a whole world of other recipes that can be brought to bear as well.
Great.